Welcome to hell, motherfuckers. Hey, here's a bonus video for the weekend. I decided to sneak another one in since I'm feeling better. The COVID and pneumonia have gone back to hell, and hope I never see them again. So, yeah, wanted to throw in another video. In this one, we shall be talking about old death metal compilation tapes. Old school. So the concept of this show actually originated with Ken Escobedo and I. Uncle Ken from the Death Metal Crypt. He obviously ended his show, but I was chatting with him a few months ago. I wasn't aware of him ending the show at the time, and it's hard to keep up with everybody's videos. All of my friends have channels, and it's hard to watch every single one, especially some of these guys are posting a video every day, and it's just hard to keep track of everything. So I wasn't aware that Ken was ending his show, and I had presented a couple ideas since I hadn't been on his show in a while. I only did the Ruin and Vremth interview a couple years ago. That's probably like 3 years ago now at this point. But yeah, I wanted to jump on with Uncle Ken, talk about some comp tapes, a couple other things that I had in mind. That's when he told me, hey, I'm not really going to be doing the show anymore. So we'll try to sneak it in. Maybe I love death metal compilations, but it didn't end up happening, obviously. So it's all good. Ken did his thing, and he's the best. He's the GOAT. He's no longer doing it, but, definitely he ran the best channel out of everybody, and he was doing it the longest. Although I do love what my other buddies are doing as well. Don't get me wrong, but I think Ken was the gold standard of this stuff because he was doing it for so long, and I don't think anybody on earth, including myself and a bunch of other people combined, have the collection that Ken has. He probably has 95% of the stuff that I have, plus thousands and thousands of more shit. So yeah, totally insane. But anyways, well, I wanted to do this, old death metal comp show. It was one of the main ways that we used to find bands back then. I think one of the things that I forgot to mention in the some of these demo stacks videos possibly, is that when we were writing letters to bands, it took forever. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have the same tools that everybody has now, and it's great. It's convenient. You could just hunt things down very easily. But it was definitely a journey. You're sending money all over the world, and international reply coupons, IRCs, and then you got in the letter, save my stamps. So you would cut the stamps off the envelope and put it back, because people were pretty clever with being able to figure out how to recycle stamps and save on postage back in the day. I don't think you could probably do that anymore. I don't know if it's even necessary. People don't really write letters as much anymore. I mean, I do a lot of packages and whatnot, but most of the time I don't even with my buddies, I'm sending them stuff, I totally forget to fucking write a letter. Whatever. So it was pretty cool though, you know. Doing us. So these compilations were a great way to discover bands, you know. And I mean, I just picked the first 9 random tapes that I ran into in a box. I have some other ones like the Psycho Slaughter, Morbid Noise, Apocalyptic Things, a couple other ones. I'm going to do that in other episodes. This episode, I started with the specific 9. Like I said, conceptually, it was the first 9 comps that I ran across. And a couple of my buddies actually did these, and there might be sequels to some of these comps and some other shows coming up. So this is the part 1 of the old school death metal tape compilation madness. So let's fucking go. All right, so the first compilation is Infernal compilation. And this is the example of the homemade fancy tapes. So actually, Mr. Rancid Feticide is a friend of mine, Justin, who did this compilation. And he was in Cerritos at the time, which is a suburb of Los Angeles. My drummer from Ruin, David, is also from Cerritos, so I'm very familiar with that area. If you're unfamiliar with Southern California, it's a suburb of Los Angeles, probably about a half an hour from Disneyland and 45 minutes with no traffic from downtown LA. With traffic, everything is 5 fucking hours here. So here is the cover, fold out, and quite a lineup on here, actually. Justin was really deep in the underground. He also became a member of Morjon and Keen of the Crow later. Does some other stuff. He was in Come to Grief with Terry from Grief. That's the new Grief version. He's in that project for a while. I think he's doing some new stuff too. I was chatting with him about some doom metal stuff. Really good bass player and old friend of mine. And yeah, so he put this comp together. And I mean, you know, there's some heavy hitters here. Look at that. Demolic and Anathema, Necrophobic, Emperor, Pyrogenesis, Crucifier, Marduk. And these are all the old iterations of some of these black metal bands, you know, even Morbid God, who became Moonspell. Morbid God was the original band. And yeah, that's just side 1. Side 2, bunch of heavy hitters as well. Synoth was badass. Morbius, Darkified, and of course Master's Hammer. I talked about them yesterday. Eulogy was awesome. Got Nightfall and At the Gates, man. Look at that. At the Gates. Old school underground band right there. And then Godforsaken, very well known. So yeah, Justin was able to pull together quite a few heavy hitters. Very impressive. This is a really cool tape compilation. And, you know, this was a great way to try to find out about some of these artists. And, you know, you get the information, get these compilations, and then you track it down. You get the address and start communicating. Here's a little bit of Morbid God, just to give you an idea of what Moonspell used to sound like. Yeah, it gives you an idea. They're even doing some weird whispering back then. Cool stuff though. But yeah, this was a killer comp. Obviously, like I said, some heavy hitters on here. And what do we got here? I got another. Let's see. Wanted to jam out another song real quick. I just forgot which file I grabbed. Okay, yeah, this is the Sinoth, Underground Civilization. Gives you an idea about Sinoth. I just picked a couple of the bands just to play the link real quick. I'm not going to play every single band on the count. It'll take forever. Morbius, not Spinel, sorry. Just realized that we got Spinel coming up on another comp I'm talking about. Got it in the brain. Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. A little bit different. Here we go. Damn it. Yeah, cool stuff. So yeah, this is the first comp that he did. And then let me grab this one. Cachexia. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. This is the second comp that he did. But again, a lot of good heavy hitters. He really was ahead of the game. Yeah, way ahead of the curve. Okay, so this is the second comp, Cachexia, and yeah, folds out, cool stuff. More of these weird. He probably got these fucking tapes at the Cerritos Mall. Fucking Justin. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, Justin. Sorry, bruh. But yeah, here's some goddamn Sinoth. There we go. Last band was Morbius. Here's some Sinoth. They fucking sound alike too. Check it out. Yeah, it gives you an idea. Fucking pissed off tree on the cover there. But here's the cover layout. Took some pictures. More heavy hitters. I mean, these are all bands that were pretty fucking well known. Sadistic Intent, especially around here. Entity, Immortal Fate, Cancerous Factor is a good local band we had here. And he even put Living Sacrifice on there. There's Symphony of Grief. I've played them before. There's Sinoth, obviously. Emphysema was a really cool band from Orange County. My buddy Dave sang for them. Really cool. And there's the Mighty Excruciating Terror, Mighty Morjon. Another Carcinogen track, another Excruciating Terror, some Brainstorm. And then here's some fucking Carcinogen, my buddy's fucking killer demo. Yeah, one of the best fucking death metal bands we had here. Dino went on to Dystopia, Newthgrush later on, and but Carcinogen was what he was known for back then. Fucking badass. He sang and played drums like Reifert. Killer. But yeah, there's Cachexia. So Justin, he started off with a bang with the first two comps that he did for sure. So good job, Justin. Killer comps, some heavy hitters on there. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention too, Dogod. The Other Gods is on the Cachexia comp. That's my buddy Tom Kneisner from Cardiac Arrest. So Justin obviously wrote to Tom. So small world. I didn't know Tom back then, but Justin did, and now me and Tom are good buddies. So fucking Dogod's on here too. All right, so now we have LA Death. And this is my brother George Castillo. He used to do Regurgitated Noise Productions, Regurgitated Noise News. There's a ad for his shit back in the day. So he had a big interview with Richard Brunel that was pretty cool, all kinds of different topics. And then he talked with Napalm Death, Forbidden, Morgoth, Dark Angel, Autopsy, Sadistic Intent. And then he did some write-ups on Incantation, Durketa, Afflicted, Brutal Assassin, Deicide, Sarcastic Nausea, Nuclear Death, and then, of course, the usual reviews of stuff. So, yeah, this is his little flyer he'd pass around in the mail and stuff. And then George and our other friend Rochelle, who later went on to Century Media Records, and she started running the Century Black sub-label that brought a lot of the black metal bands over and got all the crazy black metal from the early 90s released here in the U.S., and she was very influential in bringing the black metal bands over here on tour as well. So, yeah, George and Rochelle were the LA Death people that put this compilation together, and it was basically just a bunch of killer local bands. Pretty much who's who of the early 90s, you know. Sadistic Intent, Mind Rot, Excruciating Terror, my buddy John and the crew and Death Shit, crazy grindcore band, Entity, Sarcastic, Fear Factory, Brujeria, Nausea, Entity, Demolition, Mind Rot, Nausea, and a special Majesty bonus track, which you can hear now. I love fucking that. Majesty rules. Let me play some Sadistic real quick. Lurking Terror. Brutal. So a few years ago, I want to say like 2018, maybe 2017, I was actually at George's house, the guy that did this compilation, and Enrique, the singer, the former singer of Sadistic Intent, and now sings for Lurking Terror, and Oscar from Nausea, Terrorizer, Majesty were both there. And Enrique actually called me over because he was talking to Oscar about Majesty at that point. And Enrique was like, Mikey, you got to hear this, man. So got to talk to Oscar about Majesty and basically how a lot of how that came together or whatever. It was kind of funny because he was, telling some stories about how they formed and everything. And when they first started writing music, the concept was supposed to be like super barbaric, right? Just straight ahead, 3-chord, down-tuned punk, death metal. But whatever, it wasn't even, they didn't even really know about it back then, as far as death metal and grindcore and stuff like that. But they were just trying to make the most heavy barbaric shit. And Eric, the drummer, who plays for Nausea now as well with Oscar, was doing rolls, and Oscar's like, yeah, don't even do rolls, man. Just go straight into the next beat. No fancy shit, And I was like, fuck, that's fucking awesome. So that's why Majesty is just so simple and barbaric. But yeah, this is the LA Death #1. It was a killer compilation. I was already familiar with all the bands, but, we helped George spread out this tape through Extinction of God, as Bart and I were good buddies with George. And we were always hanging out in Southgate a lot. That's where George was from. So, and we became good friends with him and Rochelle, and then their buddy Larry. Rest in peace, Larry. Everybody knows Larry from Dark Realm Records and stuff because he was really close to the Sadistic guys. Larry grew up in Linwood, Southgate area, and Bell, where Sadistic is from, is right next door to all that. So, yeah, so it was a killer comp, and we helped spread this all over the world. There was a sequel that I will talk about in another episode, and it had pretty much all of those bands as well, plus a bunch of other ones. So it was a very well done sequel for sure. So on to the next comp. All right, so this next comp is Cranial Amputation Volume 1. This was a little bit like around 93. So there's a bit of some brutal death metal that was starting to pop up. There's the cover. And this was a guy by the name of Eric in Virginia that we used to write to for the fanzine. He got in contact. So, you got Internal Bleeding, Horror of Horrors, Decrepit, and there's some more Morbius, Embalmed, and Mortal Decay, Torture Crypt, and Dying Fetus early on. Obviously some of these bands blew up, became super, super well known. But yeah, this was cool too. Here's an example, like on the other side. So the other side has the addresses to write to the bands. So I don't know why that one band's crossed out. Maybe they pissed them off or something. Fuck them! And this copy is number 39. I don't know how many he made, but this is 39. But check out some Decrepit real quick. Yeah, if that doesn't give you a cranial amputation, I don't know what will. Maybe some Torture Crypt. Check it out. Yeah, I like that group. I got some more of their demos. The Torture Crypt. They were cool guys too. We put them on some EOG comps and. But yeah, Cranial Amputation from Virginia is another one, and this was probably, like I said, somewhere around 1993. Cool stuff. Just like I've been saying, any of these links you're curious about or whatever, if you can't find them, just let me know. You want more information about any of these bands, just hit me up. I can send you the full links of their demos and information. So, but it's fucking easy for you guys to hunt that stuff down. So do it. All right, now we're getting into the nitty gritty. Going to Medina, Ohio, which was a hotbed of putrid death metal. Yeah, this is the Rancid Fetal Carnage, Volume 2, this one. So probably have Volume 1 somewhere. And this is Manglehead Tapes. I don't know if Dwayne Morris or some of the Nunslaughter guys are involved with this. Steve Eggs, Jim Sadis, I don't know. They're all... There's a fucking great scene over there in Ohio. I know that. Balmer and fucking... Yeah, there's a fucking bunch of killer bands, so... And this... It's got a lot of heavy hitters, so let's do the cover. You can see the lineup. Suspiria, Gorefest, Procreation, Baphomet, Maimed, Shredded Corpse, Profanatica, fucking Abruptum, Pain Eater, Bathum, Grotesque Infection, Dead Fetus. There's some killer fucking bands. Killer fucking bands. And this is cool, the little fold out. It's like a poster. Put this up real. Show you this real quick like that. So that's the little mini poster. That's basically what that is. Took a picture of that. But totally fucking killer. Really cool, just like fucking old school zine layout with the information for the bands and stuff. Old school. I don't think they make these tapes anymore. Homemade tape trader shit, baby. But yeah, look at that. That lineup's fucking insane. So what I wanted to do with some of these tracks that I'm playing you is some of these bands, I played so many fucking times on the radio shows that I did and are doing on the channel here, talking about them or whatnot. So trying to play some other stuff that I haven't already played before. So check out Pain Eater. They're fucking brutal. They're like a Godflesh death metal, crazy, fucked up thing going on. And I always dug them. Fucking brutal. And then here's some Suspiria real quick, another one of the bands on here. Yeah, it gives you an idea. This killer comp, Rancid Fetal Carnage comp, Volume 2. So I try to hunt down Volume 1 and throw that on one of the next episodes of the next series of comp videos, because I got enough to make a few of these probably. All right, the next one is Underground Slaughter, Volume 1. See if you can see that. And this is a Swedish guy named Andreas Othberg. Killer comp. A lot of the European tapes back then are just kind of generic, white or black. Here is the cover. Very basic, simple. Everything about it is very basic and simple, but it's killer. Look at this lineup. I mean, that's just insane, right? It's kind of mind-blowing. You think about it. A bunch of legendary bands. A couple of these bands are still at it and still doing killer things. One of these bands is like a opera metal superstars now. You know, they're opera metal superstars, Therion. But and that's a rare track right there. Macabre Declension. The hell is that? But yeah, I mean, Grave, Immolation, Funebres, Isma, Carbonized, Ex Mortis. Speaking of Ex Mortis, check this out. Incredible killing. Yeah, I said that before. Ex Mortis is definitely one of the greatest underground cult bands ever. Definitely one of my favorites. Fucking totally awesome. Here is the Matricide song real quick. Yeah, he kind of used it. Andreas here used it for like an intro, you know, because that's like an intro type thing. Underground Slaughter, fucking badass. I mean, you saw the lineup. Look at that. Let me show it again. Let me show that shit again. Look at that. This is all when they were new. I mean, the Crush, the Cenotaph era, Asphyx, when they were just putrid and noisy and heavy as fuck. It was like some sort of Hellhammer on PCP or something. Asphyx. That's what it was reminded me of back then. And then you got grind, you know, pre-gore grind Zeisma. You know, they played that carcass style that we didn't even know what to call it back then. It was just death grind, I guess, you know. But classic stuff. Definitely one of my favorites. And let's not forget Carnage, Infestation of Evil, right there, off to the side. Almost missed that. Forgot about that. I was listening to it earlier, and that popped up. Side 1. The end of side 1. So yeah, that was Underground Slaughter. This is old, 1990 probably, from Sweden. So classic stuff. You gotta love it. Where am I at here? There we go. Okay, the next one This is the Illinois Fest of Death from 1992, May 31st, 1992. I don't remember a lot about this one, and even who sent it. Death Corpse Production. Gorecore, 1992. That's what it says right there on the little label. So, yeah, if anybody, any of my Illinois sickos, Brad Absconder, Tom Cardiac, Adam Cardiac, any of the cyanide guys, I don't know if you're watching this, if you know more information about this, I'd love to hear it. But I ended up with this, and there's the cover. So I believe it's just these bands played this festival, the Fest of Death, and they probably put out the tape based around it. Mourning, Morgue, Agnosia, Contagion, and Maimed. Some fucking heavy hitters. I've never heard Agnosia, but I definitely heard those other bands, and they're fucking awesome. Brad, my buddy from Absconder, he was in Morgue, the legendary Morgue, Eroded Thoughts, one of the killer cult death metal albums back in the day, and they did the infamous tour with Autopsy back in the early 90s. So there's a little closer picture of the lineup there. If you're not familiar with any of these bands, I did grab a couple links. So here is Contagion. This is Andy on drums. He's now in Cyanide, and you can definitely hear the Cyanide influence, probably same influence. I don't know if they came out around the same time. I assume Cyanide came out a little earlier. But yeah, Contagion fucking rules. This demo kills. Check it out. Yeah, it's like Cyanide's little brother, fucking killer. Fucking definitely love that demo. Killer comp. And then here is the Mighty Maimed. They were killer. My buddy Jeremy from Morjon actually got me into this band because he got the Maimed demo. He wrote to him and then started showing it to a lot of us, and that's how we got in contact with Maimed. Check it out. Yeah, killer stuff, man. Fucking nice and slow and putrid. Fucking Maimed ruled. But yeah, this is a fucking really fucking cool little comp that had, if they did this fest back then, it's quite a lineup. If that's what they based this tape around. Killer stuff. Wish I was there for sure. That'd be a good one to check out. But yeah, if anybody has any information about this fest back then, let me know. I will definitely like to talk more about it. Anything from this classic era, it's fucking definitely put that one in the chamber. do a fucking episode about it. All right, we're down to the last couple of compilation tapes. This one is Putrid Rot compilation number 1. Folds out, fucking cool. Got all the info there and everything. Show you the cover. And this was Mr. Robert Williams from Pennsylvania. I'm trying to remember all these people, you know? Used to write to a ton of people, as you've been finding out. But yeah, I mean, Human Remains, Rotrivore, Demigod, you know, Phlegm, Hellwitch, Coffin, Embalmer, Sarcoma, Exulceration, Inverted, Cenotaph, Shub-Niggurath, Hardware. I mean, classic. This is one of the definitely one of the most impressive comps out there. There's side A. Look at that. Look at that shit. Fucking brutal, man. More fancy colored tapes. Maybe they got it at Price Club in Pennsylvania, and like Justin bought his tapes at Price Club in Cerritos. We had the Price Clubs back then. You get the big bricks. Rhett and I were talking about that. Anyways, not that you know what the fuck I'm talking about half the time. So, yeah. Look at that. Embalmer, Caskets of Carnage. Fucking Hellwitch. Oh, yeah, there's more bands, too. I forgot. He did the layout kind of bizarre, where it's like side A continued, side B continued. So, and Shredded Corpse, Morpheus, Embryonic Death, Carry On Lord. I mean, a lot of these bands were all over the place, you know? So, it was, I mean, this was an impressive comp. Pennsylvania had a killer scene, too. So, let's see. Here's some Exulceration here, but let me show this real quick. So there's the whole entire other side. Little thank list. Here's some Exulceration. There's Phlegm. Put some Phlegm in there for you. Fucking brutal, man. Fuck yeah, Phlegm was one of the best. Heavy duty shit. Rest in peace, Jim Fleet, too. Saw that he passed away. So, fuck yeah. But Putrid Rot Comp #1 out of Pennsylvania. Another classic. Fucking amazing stuff. Gives you a basic idea of what was going on in the underground back then. And how we would discover these bands. You know, I mean, you imagine being a youngster coming across this stuff. Fucking, it's mind-blowing. Like, holy shit. Going through all these murderer's row of classic band after classic band after classic band, you know? So it was just impressive. Even back then, it was just mind-blowing being a kid fucking running across this shit. It's just made you hungrier and hungrier to find out what the fuck was going on, because then every time you wrote to these people, they would send you flyers of other stuff, other bands, other killer bands from their region, and or who, you know, they wrote to. So it was just all, the underground was fucking insane like that. And it's one of those things. That's why I wanted to do this channel, to talk about it and reminisce about it, get friends on here that were there with me, talk to others that, you know, I think are doing great things, even some new school cats, whatever. I definitely have a open invitation. If people want to come on and chat, maybe do a show with me, talk about certain things, you know, related to the old school underground or whatever, feel free to hit me up. Leave a comment, or if you know me, you know, either have my phone number or you have social media access to me or whatever, send a message. You know, the worst thing I can say is no. So I'm not going to bite. You know, if I think it's a good idea and something that makes sense, then yeah, we could fucking do it. You know, but, you know, if it's something that I might pass on or whatever, no big deal. It's nothing personal. But, yeah, man, it's just something that I fucking love to talk about, and talk about the old school ways, you know. All right, so last but certainly not least, I have a little bonus compilation. It's not necessarily death metal, quote unquote, but it's around the same era. This is the Belgian campaign for musical destruction, and it's got a Gothicles acoustic grinder hiatus, and I always forget the name of this last band, Private Jesus Detector, PJD, noise, you know, noisecore. So this is more like noisy stuff, crusty stuff, grindcore, noisecore, shit like that. But I fucking loved all this stuff back then, and a lot of us loved it too. And you know, Jan from Agathocles is definitely a hero to a lot of us, you know, just because he's such a fucking cool guy and such a rager, and Agathocles fucking rules. So I had to talk about this. Like I said, it's not really death metal, but it's from the same era, and it was all in the same circles. Like I've mentioned before, the fanzines and stuff and the compilations, a lot of times Agathocles was in the same fanzines as Samael, Blasphemy, Immolation, Mortician, Pain Eater. You know, a lot of these bands, you know, Hideous Mangalus and Sadistic Intent, and you know, Drawn and Quartered and Cyanide, and you know, all the Swedish death metal and Finnish death metal, the Canadian stuff and South American, and then some of the grindcore stuff like Agathocles. It was right in there, you know, hand in hand with all this other stuff. So this comp's fucking badass. Here is the cover. There's some of the band logos there. Cover fold out. Here is a picture of the front cover there. The Belgian campaign for musical destruction continues. And this is volume 2, actually. So I have to see if I have volume 1. This is from Grinding Morbidity Tapes. And that's Raf from Belgium. And, you know, we used to write to him, tape trade and stuff. Extinction of God did, because we were all about noise stuff. Minch and Old Rotting Christ and Meat Shits, Anal Cunt, you know, Acoustic Grinder, Stench of Corpse. You know, I can go on and on. 7 Minutes of Nausea. And then a lot of this stuff all came hand in hand with the Gothicles and the old Napalm Death, Fear of God. You know, so we loved all that old grindcore and noisecore stuff. So there is hiatus and their list. Rest in peace to Willie. He was a tape trader friend of ours too. He was a crusty dude in Belgium. Hiatus is one of the best bands ever. Fucking total crust punk, but really fast and aggressive too. Catchy, you know, fucking. You see someone with a Hiatus shirt or patch, they know their shit because Hiatus fucking rules. And Willie was awesome. Rest in peace, brother. Really nice guy. We got a lot of cool shit from him in Belgium. Him and Jan. The Belgians are always badass, man. Great beer, great people for sure. There's AGX, Mutilated Regurgitator, fucking classic. The Truth, Teachers, Kill Your Idols. There's the PJD, sorry. Private Jesus Detector. They're fun. They kind of remind me of Siege a little bit. But yeah, totally fun and classic compilation, you know. Just one of those things is just fucking Cult Underground shit, you know. I'm sure it's pretty rare at this point. But, you know, speaking of Private Jesus Detector, let me play a song real quick. Yeah, good stuff. Kind of heresy ripcord, you know. Good punk. And then here's some acoustic grinder that's on this comp. Killer. That's fun shit. And then here's some Agathocles. Gotta love it. And then Willie, this is for you, brother. Rest in peace. This is some Hiatus. Real quick. Yeah, man. Rest in peace, Willie. Like I said, classic stuff. So that was fun. I wanted to add that as like a little bonus at the end of the episode. So I had originally picked 8 of the comps, and then I ran across this, and this is a classic. So I had to throw that into the mix as well. And like I said, this is just part one. I'll be doing some more of these because I got a bunch. So probably could do like 3 or 4 episodes if I wanted to. I'll try to pick the cream of the crop, so to speak, and pick some of the absolute elite of the comps. But I think these first 9 here were killer. Like I said, heavy hitters on there. And thanks to my buddies Justin and George and Rochelle for doing those first ones that I talked about, and everybody else I talked about here today for putting out these comps, part of the death metal underground and grindcore history. And I appreciate you. So, and thanks to all you sickos for tuning in to another episode of Welcome to Hell. Number 17, we're getting up there, getting some good followers and likes. So I appreciate you. This is the Old Skull Death Metal Tape Compilation Madness Part 1. And like I had mentioned in the episode yesterday, I got some killer stuff planned, and I got a really cool interview that I'm going to be doing on Saturday with an old buddy of mine of a recently reformed killer cadaveric necrogrind band. So we're going to talk about what they got going on, and we're going to go through the history of his journey through rock and roll, heavy metal, and the death metal underground. So until then, you motherfuckers out there, have a good one and have a better one tomorrow. See you later.